guys? We are back with another Hero Complex discussion, geek out, movie talk. We don't know.
Trailer review.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to call it just yet, but basically we just want to get together and talk about the stuff we love. And we've got something awesome to talk about today. I'm joined with...
I'm Dale. I'm Jonathan and Michael's father.
Yep.
I'm Jonathan.
All right, and I'm Michael. So today we're going to be talking about the Supergirl trailer, the second trailer that has come out. But before we dive in on that, I want to just tell you, we've got a lot of really cool things happening at the Hero Complex. Online stuff, as well as stuff at our store. So just to give you a little bit of an understanding of what we have, we've got movie discussions like we've talked about. We've got this thing called Dale's Tales from the Fortress. It's really fun. We're in my dad's basement, and he just has gobs of cool stuff. You want to say anything about that?
It's just, we go back and we look at stuff that I've collected pretty much my entire life, and we talk about how that felt back in the day to get them and how it looks now in the present with all this going on, and how cool it is to see it's worked its way to what it is today.
Yes. So that's fun. We've also got some awesome action figure reviews and product reviews that we've been doing. You want to mention something about that?
We went through Mythic Legions, the new wave that just came out, Rising Suns, as well as we did a brief review of the new nacelle Star Trek action figures. But we'll keep having those roll out as well as new things come out with Legends and the new Mattel DC line that's going to come out. So there's a lot on the horizon with toys. Toys are exciting.
We love toys, right? And then, so I already mentioned movie discussion. So we did a breakdown on the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. If you even go back talking about like Fantastic Four and Superman last year, we did discussions on those. So we love talking about this stuff. So if you enjoy that stuff too, you like what we're doing, check it out. That's for on our online side. And then on the store side, we always have cool stuff going on. First of all, we've got new comics every week. We've got action figures coming in, but we're also doing a lot of really fun events. Even this month is actually our anniversary, and we're going to be doing that later on in the month, so more details to come on that. We've got Free Comic Book Day, which I believe is being rebranded, something different.
We'll still call it Free Comic Book Day.
We give you a comic for free this year every day. It's got the longest random name now.
Come out and have some fun. We're going to do a cool merge with May the 4th in there, so we'll have a little bit of a Star Wars feel to it. But we've got a lot of neat things going on. Even beyond that, we're kicking around ideas with having movie nights, game nights, diorama building, action figure swaps, and then even a few months down the line, we've got this big thing. You may know about it, you might not, but it's called Hero Celebration. It's a huge event that happens right on our parking lot, right in front of the store. So just want to tell you about that. Hopefully you're excited about it like we're excited about it. So check us out. And if you're not already doing so, I just want to encourage you, please like our videos, subscribe, follow us, and even share them with your friends. We're getting like a lot of really good feedback. So that encourages us, and we're having fun with it.
But today we're talking about Supergirl.
Well, before we started, let's talk about the promotion we'll do.
Yeah.
Last year, we rented the theater for
Superman and
Fantastic Four, and it was the coolest thing getting around, having friends, family, and the people that come to the store visit with us in that setting. It was really neat. So we're going to do that again with Supergirl.
We'll have it Mando as well before then.
Depending on how many want to join with us, we sell the tickets. We might be in 2 theaters by that point, but it's going to be a big deal, so it's exciting.
Yeah, last year we did sell out our tickets, so when those go up for sale, I would grab them as quick as possible. It will come with your soda and your popcorn, and we're always doing like fun giveaways and discussions, so definitely an event you'd want to see.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're talking about Supergirl.
So this was the first main trailer. We've gotten a teaser trailer before this, which didn't really show us a whole lot. We know it's based heavily off the book that Dad's got there, Woman of Tomorrow. But yeah, it's in the new universe. We've got the new Superman, which, there is a lot of positivity around the new Superman, David Cornsbutt and James Gunn's universe that he's creating. We've got our first official sequel to that. Not necessarily the direction that you would expect from a new universe. You'd expect maybe a Wonder Woman or a Batman or some of these key figures, but we're going on, not that Supergirl's friend, she's probably still top 10 DC characters. She's had a movie before, but
Yeah.
taking a little bit of a different direction with a new spin on Supergirl.
So it's based on this comic book, loosely. I think Crypto's in it again. He's actually in the trailer. You know, we've talked about in the Superman review how the origin of Crypto has changed a little bit. In the comic books, it was initially Superman's dog that came first, and Superman had him as a teenager and grew up with him. In this story, I guess Crypto is Supergirl's.
It looks like it was.
Yeah.
He was raised by Supergirl.
So it's cool. It's a cool take on it. But this would be a neat. And
Well, we were talking a little bit earlier in regard to Crypto in the comic book and what they're doing in the movies. It is a different take because I guess it's, you know, the Mandela effect or whatever with everything coming out with this new movie. The trailers, even the teaser trailer, had and showed Crypto as a baby, as a puppy with Supergirl. And I guess I just thought that in my brain, that remembered that comic. Oh yeah, that was part of that comic, but that's actually Divergent.
Yeah.
So they in the comic you pull more of the classic origin that it was Superman's dog that Supergirl is taking care of. They flip that on the head in the movie continuity that Supergirl has always had this dog, and then in the first Superman movie, Superman was watching the dog for Supergirl. So it's a little divergence, but we've also see other big characters pop in that aren't in that comic book, which is why you said loosely. You see
Lobo. Holy
which
cow! What a presence.
looks pretty
Perfect.
spot on.
Yeah.
I think
like Jason Momoa was.
when he
for
was
that role.
when he was cast in as Aquaman, everybody's like, "Why did you do that? He's perfect for Lobo." So now we get to come full circle and see that actually play out in the role that it seems like God created him for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, changes his voice too.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of an accent. I think it's fun.
When you know, the story looks like, you know, she is suffering from some sort of post dramatic situation, and has driven her to be a party animal. And I think it's interesting to see that kind of major story introduced, is why she reacts the way it is. Here's why. Okay, this is a guess. Superman came as a baby, raised on Earth. Even though she came directly to Earth as a teenager, she saw the destruction of Krypton.
Right.
She saw all that happen. She saw, I don't know if her parents were
well, we see that in the comic
Yeah.
book, and that story play out in the comic book, that she has seen both the destruction of Krypton, the sickness of Kandor, and everything that happened to Kandor, the death of her family. Like, there's a whole lot of continual trauma that occurs with her, and now, you know, Crypto is in the trailer. You see even in the trailer that Crypto might get hurt, and that might cause even further trauma.
It kind of sounds like they're centering like her journey around Crypto. Like he gets hurt or something, and then she goes out to try on this quest to save him. And to me, it looks like she's actually going to be redeemed, and her character, all of the maybe drunkenness and that sort of just negativity rolls away when now she's been given purpose about what it means to save her family.
Well, and it was a concern when they introduced her in the Superman movie, and at the time I had already read the Woman of Tomorrow book, but even that interpretation, I have daughters that are one's about to turn 10, one just turned 5. It's like, well, this isn't exactly the Supergirl I want them watching in theater and being involved in, because it's a little bit of a darker story, which, you know, there's always the argument whether this material should be catered to an adult collector who's done this their entire life, or it should be far-reaching. In my opinion, Supergirl's a character that is maybe even more so than Superman, simply because she is that girl element of it that I hope they don't go too deep, too dark into that. And I think you can handle dark and deep without going to the crass and you know, hard elements of it. You already see a little bit of the drinking and everything, but hopefully that redemption arc feels good enough to where it's a positive image for the character.
I definitely think that there's a stark contrast between the two trailers. So watching this trailer, I felt really good, a lot better about the tone of the movie, and gave me a bit of hope that it's not going to be what felt like the first trailer seemed to have more of a dark, edgy, almost Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it. That there was going to be a lot of like, to me, she seemed like she was going to be a very, kind of twisted, not quite as far as to Deadpool, but that sort of just not the ideal female character for, especially for young girls and young women. But in this second trailer, totally different, and it could be just the music. I know the music really, because some of the scenes are directly in the first trailer and in the second trailer, but it seemed like to me that it's like, okay, this bad thing happened, whatever, and it could be very, very bad, but she's almost going to morph into that ideal, brave, young woman that can be an icon for young girls. That's the feeling that I get by the end of this second trailer.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately, not to get into spoilers at all, but to get into the inside elements, behind the scene elements of the movie, a lot of the studio talk has been, they've wrestled with the tone of this movie. Apparently, it has gone through 3 different composers. You talked about music, so it's gone through 3 different composers, all of which are pretty prominent composers. So to have that switched up on them is probably an ego hit. But 3 different composers. It's apparently had 8 different test screenings and undergone multiple endings. So I think they're wrestling with the tone of this movie and what it should really end up on. If you read the comic book, Woman of Tomorrow is a very whimsical, far out there, magical ride, while at the same time having an edge to it with her and everything. It's an interesting read. Let me put it that way. I enjoyed it.
It involves magic.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on in it. So they're probably trying to balance that while integrating characters, making Crypto more of a presence, integrating more with Lobo and adding him to the story. Which is completely divergent from the comic book. So we'll see what it does. I feel like they've got a lot riding on this. It's been said that it's a lower budget movie, lower budget blockbuster.
Which is crazy because the quality of these CGI shots are.
But you can tell they
the
really
world building's huge.
They want it to be successful and they want it to make money because they want that DC universe to.
I wonder
really
if that's why they backed down really on just the Guardians of the Galaxy, that harder feel of it.
Yeah, one of the things I think is neat in the trailer itself is in the background, you see her leaving Kandor. And, I'm speculating with Man of Tomorrow, which is next year, features Brainiac. I'm wondering if they're tying those 2 together because it looks like Kandor is definitely becoming inside a capsulated situation.
Yeah, I would hope so. Seeing that they went from, and I already said it's an interesting step to go to Superman to Supergirl versus more prominent DC characters, because in a lot of ways, Supergirl is a female version of Superman. So you automatically take a little bit of the uniqueness of Superman.
Yeah.
So to define and create your universe as that foundation, hopefully they have a through point and a real plan for what they're doing, going from the first Superman movie to this to Man of Tomorrow, which we know already includes Brainiac. I would hope that is their intention there, and that Brainiac will somehow play a role, or at least in the background of what happens to her home world, and that we get continuity.
I hope we see a little bit of Krypton, and it looks like we're seeing it destroyed.
Yeah, we know Krypton's in this. You see the funerals going on. Well, maybe not Krypton as a whole, but you definitely have Kandor that will be referenced throughout this and is referenced.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Lobo. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, Lobo looks cool. Lobo's bike looks cool. All it looks cool. We've seen some more detailed images of them with the action figures, which will also have on sale at Hero Complex when those come out. But we know there's a lot going on. They also made sure, and I just saw it in the clip there, to have Superman in this trailer.
Good, make sure, hey, this is all one happy universe.
Sometimes at the end of Superman, the movie that came out last year, when she shows up at the end, it comes off as a little bit of irreverent to Superman.
Yeah.
And even in the trailer, having the dog urinate on the thing. But I think if you think about it, if you're standing in the shadow of somebody as awesome as him, you're always playing second fiddle. And I think that's where the struggle might be also in regard to her and who she's going to be, So it'll be interesting to see how this all works out. I'm looking forward to it.
But it comes out in June, I believe. June, I'm
Yeah.
not sure of the date, but mid-June, late June, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple more months, there'll probably be a couple more trailers, and a lot going on in regard to the DC universe. We've got Green Lantern this year as well, Clayface, which isn't in the same universe. I don't really think there's much more than that, but hopefully, like you said, hopefully we see that through point leading directly into Man of Tomorrow.
And sometime in June, we'll celebrate Superman Day too, so that'll be a big deal. So looking forward to that with everybody.
So before we end the discussion, what do you think the chances are that Crypto dies?
Oh, they won't do that.
Yeah, they won't do that. And again, the comic book's out. Read the comic book. We've got it in the store. Come check it out if you're interested in where this story is going. It is a pretty pivotal part of the story. Him getting hurt, potentially dying, but
Yeah, I don't think that.
you can't
You
kill
can't-
Grogu.
you-
You can't kill Crypto.
you
You
there's
can't
no
kill.
way you can't.
Yeah,
There's a lot of speculation. They're like, they're gonna kill him. I was like,
Destroy
I
the
don't
toy line
see
right
how
in the
you
middle.
could
I don't
possibly
think
do
that's gonna
that.
happen. Yeah.
She already's lost all of her family. You can't kill the dog too. Well, so this has been fun. One of the last things that I'm super curious about is what's everybody's most anticipated thing that they want to see in this movie? And you gotta boil it down to just one.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Well, I think it would be interesting to see if Krypton really is the way that that video that happened at the end of Superman, if it was manipulated or not, if Kandor, if Krypton was a conquering planet. I would think it would be that. I think I'd like to see the results of that, if that's true or not.
You stole mine. That's what I was curious about too. I'll come up with another one.
So I would say probably, hopefully, an integration of Brainiac leading into Man of Tomorrow, seeing more of Superman's character. To me, Supergirl is a side character to Superman. I am interested in the movie, but I want to see more of the world of Superman and DC in general. Characters like Lobo, all that.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing for me that I'm most excited about is really the world building aspects of it and Lobo. I'm very curious. I hope we get to see him a lot in the movie, and it kind of looks like we will get to. So kind of building out that universe of characters is what I'm most interested in, and ultimately I would like for them all to get back to, Earth, and I would love to see Superman, involved with Lobo at some point in time. I don't think we're going to see any of that in this movie, so I'll just settle it at I'm really excited to see Lobo.
Yeah, so we're excited about this movie. Supergirl, if you know us, Superman's pretty much our peak character, so having another character in that realm of Superman-related characters is exciting to see that world build out. If you're excited about it, leave a comment. Let us know what you're excited about. Maybe we can integrate that into the next trailer review or discussion we have. We've got a lot of conversations we want to have around this movie and how it affects the DC universe with Krypton and Lobo and all the Crypto and all these sorts of things. But please like, subscribe, share, let us know your thoughts, and hopefully we'll see you on June 26th when the movie comes out. That's the same weekend as our Hero Celebration, so there's going to be a lot of Supergirl tie-in to all of that, and we hope to see you there too. Bye.
Bye.